It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to High on Sports. I am Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and whether you are listening to us tonight on your computer or on one of the many glorious apps, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you are not listening on your mobile device, then why don't you go ahead and go to the marketplace, search for TuneIn Radio, free to download, install that, search MSC Radio Network. You are listening to us on the go from your smartphone or tablet or mobile smart device, machine, computer thing. Again, that is TuneIn Radio, free to install. And remember, as always, you can get a hold of us through our Facebook, facebook.com/high-on-sports, or on our Twitter, which is at high_on_sports, or with the hashtag high-on-sports. Or you can always call in the old-fashioned way, 1-888-668-0742, or email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. And remember, as always, get to the website. It is highonsports.net. You'll find the archive of all our past shows, my blog, a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, I wrote it last week, but I had a blog there. It's my 2013 wish list for the Cleveland Browns. Some things so far have actually happened. I wished for Paul Kruger, and then it happened. Browns obviously signing the Ravens linebacker. And I did some other things I think that have already just fallen flat. But some other stuff could happen. Who knows? No, there's time. But again, that is highonsports.net. That is the website. Write it down. Remember it. Go to it. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. It is round one. Let's go. Ding, ding. All right. Doing the bell the old-fashioned way today. Obvious place to start. It is March. It's been March for a while, but now it's March Madness,
baby.
I always wish they started it sooner and actually ended it in March. It's like, because then now it ends in April. I was just kind of like, oh, well, the madness is over. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm usually barely excited by the time we finally get to the championship. I love that it's all these constant games going on, 68 teams all competing for the shot.
That's why it's March.
Exactly. I guess
the madness is in March.
And then the April's kind of just like, okay, whatever.
Now I got 3 games to watch by the time April rolls around.
True.
Because, March you got all the conference tournaments.
Absolutely.
And then you got the beginning of the NCAA tournament, which is just madness, as that's what we call it.
I see what you did there. That was good. I like that. Well, obviously, this is bracket time. Everybody's got their strategies. I have done one bracket so far, unfortunately. It is just my real, actual picks. Nothing fancy yet. I will, however, the next couple days be doing some other brackets. I'm going to try to post those online, show them off and stuff. I only, want to put them out there and stuff for everybody to see because I've talked about on the show. Every year I do 3 brackets all the time. I do my real picks, which are, here. They're boring, whatever. And then I do my coin flip, which gets crazy. I literally flip a coin, and by literally I mean on the coin flip app on my phone. Because it's 2013, people. Get with it. I flip a coin for every single matchup. I wind up with ridiculous championships. I think last year, last year or the year before, one of the last couple of years, I actually wound up with the champion. At least in the Final Four or something. I always hate it when I'm doing a coin flip and then I have a 1 seed making a ridiculous run.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, come on, it's a coin flip. It's supposed to be exciting.
Right?
Get some 14s and 12s in there. Nah. The fates of the coin went chalk. But, I bring together a council of a think tank, if you will, and we discuss and debate if mascots or team names or however you want to refer to it actually fought. So, just looking at one
favorite.
here, it's so fun. I'm trying to find a good one here, a good representation of it. NC State Wolfpack versus the Temple Owls.
Yeah,
There's
the wolves
a pack
win.
of hungry wolves against some owls. Owls are wise. They are wise, and that's
they
an
can
understatement.
fly.
But if they swoop, when they swoop, I should say, towards the wolves, that's a wolf. That's got claws. That's got teeth. That's like a dog, but mad. That's going to do some damage. I would go with Wolfpack right there.
Probably bite a wing, spin
We
it around,
usually get something
throw it,
ridiculous.
Take out the rest of the Owls.
Make a big run. Michigan State has a lot of promise when we do that because of a Spartan is a powerful warrior. Not in it this year, but University of Alabama, it was Birmingham, I think. UAB, they're the Blazers, which is a dragon, which always tears things up.
You can't lose. A dragon can't lose, I don't think.
No, it's very tough, very tough. I had them as a champion. I want to say 2 years ago, a year or two ago. It was actually them versus the Spartans, which would be one for the ages. A noble Spartan warrior taking on a powerful dragon. But dragons are all like magical and crap, so I went with that. But anyways, I do make actual picks because I do know actual sports. For anyone that may have forgotten during that. So this is I'm looking at my bracket. You guys sort of have like the outlines of your brackets and everything, some rough ideas.
It takes a lot of thought, man.
It does, and there's a lot you have to put into it. My biggest problem is I go with the gut and everything. I let the head talk, but I make the gut make the call.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I wind up a little chalkier than I want to. Like this year, for example, I'll get to my Final Four soon. It's not a lot of crazy upsets in there. And then my biggest problem is then I look at the final product. I don't go into it thinking like, well, I know my Final Four will be these teams. I just look at each matchup and let my Final Four come to me. As stupid as that sounds. But once I look at it, then all of a sudden I think to myself, it probably can't be here. But you can't let yourself go back and be like, well, maybe I should pick a lower seeded team to do something. Because you can't go back and force upsets in your picks just so the final product looks classier. I went a little chalk this year. I'll admit my Final Four is 2 1 seeds and 2 2 seeds.
I mean, sometimes it's just how it happens.
Sometimes it just turns out that way. 1 year, a couple years ago, we had like almost all 2s.
Yeah.
It's like 3 2s and then like a higher seed or something. Sometimes it just kind of ends up that way. I mean, rarely does
there's a reason why they're higher ranked, because they're good.
Exactly. Rarely does like the number 1 overall seed
ever
win. I think since they've started denoting who's won overall,
they lose.
I don't believe they've won yet. Or maybe Kentucky was 1 overall last year. I'm not 100% on that.
I don't think they were 1 overall.
No, I don't believe they were either. But I don't like that they feel the need now to do a number 1 overall because that's relatively recent. I want to say 4 or 5 years or something.
Yeah,
they've been doing that. It used to be
when
just
Ohio State got the overall number 1. 3 years ago? It was only like the second or third time they were doing it.
Exactly, because I liked it better in the old days when it was just you're the 4 number 1 seeds. Now, why do you need to denote one of them as like the number 1?
Right.
They're all number 1s. Why do you have to do that? But I don't know. It just gives people something to talk about. It's Louisville this year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisville is the number 1 overall, which means nothing. It means just as the same for Gonzaga and Indiana and Kansas. Your 4 number 1s. They're all number 1 for a reason. They're all tied for best at this point. Now, will any of them make the Final Four? I don't know, but I can give you my predictions right here. One thing I want to touch on real quick is everybody always wants to find that upset. There's always the upset every year. There's the one where it's, nobody saw that coming. And as that happens and as the sports and media world evolve the way they're evolving, where we want to predict everything, we want to talk about everything that could happen just so we can talk about it, now they just heavily want to predict upsets. It's like that'll be one of the things. It's like, who's your Final Four? Also, who's your big upset, It's just become part of it, and I've seen it on a lot of things and heard it on a lot of shows and stuff. Everybody has this game circle. We even had a fan point it out on our Facebook page. Everybody wants to point to this game in particular. Let me find it. It is the number 3 seed Marquette versus the number 14 seed Davidson. Everybody's getting high on Davidson here. Everybody's like, watch out for Davidson. Look out for Davidson. First of all, I just want to point out that when you keep saying look out for this team or watch this team or whatever, at some point it stops being an upset.
Yeah.
Because
now you're expecting them to win.
Like now, if they win, exactly, people are starting to expect it.
Yeah.
Which makes it not an upset necessarily. I say watch out for Marquette. Marquette has one of the best and deepest rotations of all of these teams, and they spread everything out and the minutes and the time. And the ball and everything, they spread it out so well. Their leading scorer just averages double digits. But that's not because he sucks, you know. That's because everybody's getting a turn.
Yeah.
They keep this thing moving. They keep it active. Watch out for Marquette. I'm just saying. I don't have them making it. I have them making it to the. Let's see, 64-2. I have them in the Sweet 16. So, I mean, but still, you know, you can't.
I know, they gotta play
You can't
Butler.
look too heavily on an upset and expect it to happen. But now let's excuse me. Let's look at each corner here, and we'll break down our Final Four. I have advancing to the Elite Eight. I have Louisville versus Michigan State coming in there. Michigan State upsetting Duke. Louisville, the number 1 seed, just sort of riding that. And in the matchup for the Final Four, I have Louisville advancing out of the Midwest bracket and into the Final Four. And now we'll go to you guys. Ashley, who do you have coming out of the Midwest bracket?
I think I'm going to have to take Louisville, too. I don't think it's going to be between. They're going to go against Michigan State and Duke, like you had, or you had Michigan State. It's going to be one of those two teams, but I think I got to go Louisville, too. They're tough.
Yeah,
I watched a couple of their games.
There's
tough.
a lot of talent in this corner of the bracket here.
Yeah, this is like a really
Michigan
tough bracket.
State, Duke, Louisville, St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis is. They're riding
St.
a
Louis
serious
would
hot
not
hand.
shock me if they get into the Final Four.
No.
It's absolutely crazy. You know, they watched the selection show at a Best Buy in Secaucus, New Jersey.
They watched it at a Best Buy?
They watched it at a Best Buy. I don't understand. Can they not afford TVs or something? I don't know. I just know they were at a Best Buy and there's always pictures of all their players sitting in like chairs watching it on all the TVs at a Best Buy.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe it's a big promotional thing with Best Buy. Who knows?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Von Eric?
Ralphie, I had the same exact picks as you. Louisville and Michigan State coming out of the Midwest, but I have Michigan State winning that matchup.
Okay, I can see
Not
it.
a bad move. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of
see
ways
it.
you can go here.
I mean, you can never go wrong picking a Big Ten team.
No, Izzo and Michigan State, they do one thing, win in September. Sorry, wrong thing.
Win in March?
They win in March. They don't
Yeah.
play in September. Do they? Yeah, I don't know.
There's probably some practices.
Yeah,
Maybe they win against each
They
other.
win in the green versus silver scrimmage.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what they do better than anyone. No, I don't know. I don't know why I said September. March. They win in March. All right, now we move over to the West bracket. We slide down to the bottom left-hand portion of it. Gonzaga, the 1 seed. I have them making a bit of a run, but I see them getting stopped by Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin is a very good team. The
Yeah.
Big Ten is incredibly deep this year.
Honestly, I think if the Big Ten didn't have to play each other so many times, there'd probably be 4 number 1 Big Ten seeds.
Oh yeah, I mean the rest of the
It's
teams
insane
really
how good they are.
the rest of the teams really benefited from
Yeah.
from the Big Ten trying to have to play against each other. Sorry. Anyways, I have I won't beat around the bush here. I have Ohio State advancing to the Final Four. I have them taking on Wisconsin, beating Wisconsin for the 3rd time this season.
I thought they split with Wisconsin.
It would be the 3rd time.
Oh,
they beat
wait,
them.
they just
'Cause
beat them in the Big Ten
yesterday.
tournament. Duh!
I have them beating Wisconsin for the 3rd time, proving themselves in the Big Ten, showing what they can do. I have Ohio State in the Final Four. Ashley?
I'm rolling the same way. I'm taking Wisconsin over Gonzaga because no one can stop anybody in the Big Ten, and then Ohio State all the way to the Final Four. all the way to the Final Four.
And what do you got, Von Eric?
I have Ohio State losing to Gonzaga in the Elite
You're
Eight,
taking Gonzaga.
Ooh.
Oh.
and they will advance to the
So you
next
got
round.
the Zags in there. All right, now up
I mean,
to
they are good, though.
up to the south. Up to the south. Well, it's up on this chart.
Up on the See, that's just confusing.
I know, right? They don't have these. They have.
Wait,
don't
why do they have a
organized, right?
south and not a north?
I don't know.
How do they
Because I didn't make this up.
regions?
And the NCAA made this up, and they don't know what they're doing. Kansas. What can I say about Kansas? The number 1 seed. I'm going Gaga over Kansas this year. Normally I don't buy into it. I know everybody talks about Kansas as it's a dominant program overall for years. They're a basketball school. This is what they do. Everybody picks. They're just a safe bet almost every year.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh well, Kansas probably win the whole thing, or Kansas in the Final Four.
Rock, shock, Jayhawk.
Every year people do that. And normally I'm like, yeah, it could happen, but whatever. But honestly, this year they've actually got me excited now that we're at tourney time, because their team is just, it's so good. They have a freshman phenom, a diaper dandy, if you will, to borrow a phrase from someone else, in someone who will absolutely be a lottery pick. In Ben, got $20 in my pocket, Macklemore, and 4 seniors that spend a lot of time on the starting 5. I mean, you've got the experience, you've got the scoring and the youth in a freshman. Their team is built to really go somewhere, and I have them at least going to the Final Four. What do you got, Ashley?
I'm taking Kansas, too. I don't think there's anyone in that region that can upset them. I mean, Georgetown can give them a run for their money.
Oh, yeah, the Hoyas.
But
still don't know what a Hoya is, but
Michigan, they'll choke again because they suck. And that's...
I don't think you're being biased at all.
No,
Go on.
not at all. But I don't think there's anyone that can upset them at this point. They'd have to choke hard to not make it to the Final Four.
I have to say, Ashley, I really like your Final Four so far.
Really?
Yeah. No, they're really good. I liked them better when I thought of them first.
You know what? Fine. I'll do the next round first.
No, okay, fine. You can do the next round first. I've told you mine. But Von Erich, go ahead.
I have Kansas beating Florida in the Elite Eight. Kansas advancing.
Okay. That's another team to keep an eye on. Is Florida? The SEC overall played like garbage this year, but Florida really, in my mind, is the best team out of the SEC. Now we come over to the East. We go down to the East because this makes so much sense. Indiana, your number 1 overall seed. Miami, Florida at 2, and so on and so forth. Marquette is your 3. Syracuse is your 4. A lot of interesting matchups here. You've got a lot of teams with some question marks. Is UNLV? They've got that dominant scoring from Shabazz Muhammad when he plays like it.
Right when he's not rocking around this Gucci bag.
Exactly. Marquette with such a deep rotation. Miami having the greatest season in their school's history. Indiana with a lot of rough patches this season, but still riding Cody Zeller and that amazing Indiana Hoosiers team they've got. It could really go a lot of ways here. I'd say this is the one that's... this isn't quite as up in the air as the Midwest, I think, but I think it's right up there. I think these are the two that are really up in the air. So now we go, Ashley. Who do you got?
See, this one's tough because
it is.
It could go Indy, Syracuse, or Miami.
They're all good picks. What are you thinking?
Yeah, Syracuse will lose. Between Indy and Miami, I don't...
Well, you have to pick one. So you've got Indy and Miami in the Elite Eight. Who wins?
Yeah. See, this one's tough.
It is.
I shouldn't have went first. I should have gave myself time to think about it.
I know, but you wanted it. Go. Now you get the pressure. Who's in the Final Four? Go.
Indiana.
All right.
Indiana. I'll go with 1.
I went with Miami. Like I said,
they are having a great season.
The Hurricanes are having the best season in the history of their program, and I like the things they're doing there. And I am going the U of Miami in the Final Four, making my Final Four: Louisville, Kansas, Ohio State, and Miami. Who rounds out your Final Four, Von Erich?
Syracuse.
Okay.
Syracuse.
It's. I mean, they're still technically Big East. It's that Big East can ball. They can ball.
And you know what's? It's sad that football basically destroyed that conference because up until this year with the Big Ten just running things, the Big East has always been pretty much one of the most dominant basketball conferences. But then because they blow nuts in football, things
have just gotten torn up. This is the end or whatever of the Big East? I don't even understand. People keep saying this is it. This was the last one, but and
what sucks is because
where does UConn play then?
I don't know. Aren't they? I don't know. They're switching conferences or something.
Are they? I don't even know.
The Big East is about to go bankrupt. And
because they're about to lose a lot.
And it sucks because Syracuse and Georgetown is one of the biggest basketball rivals in college. And I think Syracuse is leaving the Big East, so now, boom, that's done.
So is Pitt.
Yeah, I'm like, it sucks.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
But there's more money in football, so.
Yep, that's what's making all these calls is football. Otherwise, people would be on the phone with Duke 24/7 seeing what they're doing. You know what I mean? So now let's just talk about our championship. We'll say who's in it, and we'll say who's winning it. I have Louisville advancing past Ohio State, and I have Kansas advancing past Miami. And I said it before when I was talking about them. Kansas has just got me all riled up in all the right kind of ways this year. I have got your Kansas Jayhawks as the NCAA National Championship. And what have you got?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Kansas over Indiana.
Oh, that's cool.
And,
Louisville,
Damn
Ohio
it.
State. Who you got?
it's so hard to pick against Ohio State.
Yeah, I had to take the biases out of it, and I just had to go with Louisville, personally.
I don't know, man. If Ohio State gets on a roll, I think they can beat Louisville.
So are you going Buckeyes?
You know what? I'll go Buckeyes.
All right, and who's your champion? Ohio
See,
State,
now
Kansas.
this sucks. Because Kansas dismantled Ohio State when they played earlier.
Well, you got a second to think about that because we got a caller on the line.
Oh,
Caller, you're on the air. What's
hello.
going on?
Hello? Where you at, buddy?
All right.
What?
Even he was sick of waiting for your picks.
You know what? Shut up. This takes thought process, and I just got it right before the show.
Well, all right, Von Erich, what have you got?
Yeah, come back to me.
I've got Gonzaga and Kansas going to the finals with Kansas coming out on top.
Got
Okay.
the Zags going?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
All right. All right, and so, Ashley, what have you got?
I think Kansas will beat Ohio State.
Okay, so you and
This
I agree
could
on
change,
Kansas
though.
as a champion.
It could change.
Now, we're
I-
nearing the end of the first half here, so I'm going to immediately switch gears from basketball. We were going to talk a little NBA, but I'd rather talk this. I'd rather talk some baseball with you real quick, if I can, because while we were doing that, Von Erich, you pointed something out to me. I'm going to let you go ahead and take this one. But a trade has happened in which one of the teams got nothing.
Yes, the
What?
Philadelphia Phillies traded a Cuban prospect to the LA Angels, who are in dire need of pitching help, for zero compensation.
How does that?
They just like wrapped him up in a bow and said Merry Christmas?
Yeah, minor league right-handed pitcher Mike Cisco traded to the Angels for no compensation.
How you have that option?
I guess you have. His line is 75 innings pitched in the minors, 180 ERA at AA and AAA level. But apparently the Phillies have dealt him because they have an excess of pitchers on those minor league levels. And the Angels are a team that, like I said, desperately needs pitching, and he might have a chance to pitch there.
So desperate they gave up nothing.
Yep.
I guess that's a trade you take every day of the week.
You know
no
what?
matter what they're offering you, if it's for nothing, you accept.
Yeah, if you say, hey, you want this guy? Don't worry, we don't need anything back. Okay. I'll
They
take him.
said nothing?
Wow, not even like a bag of baseball bats like that one guy that back in the day? got traded
not
for some
even cash
bats?
consideration, like throw like a 20 my way or something and he's yours.
mail us a 20 so I can go to Chipotle or something.
Wow. That's got to be like a first. I mean, that's nothing.
It says here, per league rules, something has to change hands, whether it's cash, another minor leaguer, a future draft pick, something tangible.
Probably gonna.
Now, can it be like a non-baseball thing? Can it be like, I will trade you this guy if you come help me move next week?
Yeah. I need someone to cut my lawn.
That's tangible.
If your general manager will come help me move or something, or come sign this car with me or something.
I need him to sign me in at a GM meeting where I will not be present.
Oh man, that's insane. And now let's keep with the baseball theme. The World Baseball Classic. The championship is tomorrow. We know one of the teams in it. Puerto Rico defeated the defending champion Japanese 3-1 last night, and tonight a matchup of two titans, or at least a titan and a team that seems kind of odd that they're here. The Dominican Republic taking on the Netherlands tonight at 9 p.m. I think I know where we're all leaning here, but I want to go to you, Von Erich. Who is going to win this matchup, this semifinal matchup? The Netherlands or the Dominican Republic?
Well, the Netherlands have been quite the Cinderella story, but I don't know what their rosters are for either team off the top of my head. I've been looking at this Cuba story all day. First, one of the Cuban nationals gets traded for nothing, and then one of their pitchers who just returned home mysteriously dies in a traffic accident after a poor performance in the WBC. So, well,
Damn, that's messed up.
I'll go Dominican just to answer your question.
I got some MLB players on this Netherlands roster. You ready for some of these? Minnesota Twins pitcher Sharian Martis. Also Minnesota Twins pitcher Tom Stoofbergen. From the Cincinnati Reds, Loic Van Mil.
Did they
They're
play?
from
I've never heard of these
team's
people.
organization.
San Francisco
not from
Giants.
the Major League roster.
Dashenko Ricardo. So
It's gotta be in the
I should
minors.
stress that these are not necessarily at the major league level. I don't believe any are. From the Atlanta Braves, Anderlton Simmons. Texas Rangers with Jackson Profar. There's some major leaguers. Well, again, I'm pretty sure none of these are actually.
Some farm leaguers.
Yeah, I don't believe any of these are on the real big boy roster, unless who knows, Kalian Sams, the right-handed outfielder for the Seattle Mariners, also on the team, and finally from the Boston Red Sox, Xander Bogaerts. So they're all like normal names, but just kind of slightly off. So that's how you know they're from the Netherlands. Or Netherlands, however they pronounce that there. I also have the Dominican Republic, which I haven't looked at it yet, but I believe should read something a little closer to a actual roster. There's a lot. There's there's not as much as I thought. Let me see if I can. Eric Ibar. Eric Ibar's there. Carlos Santana of your Cleveland Indians is there. As well as some other. Wandy Rodriguez is on the team. So, manager Tony Pena. So I think it's safe to say Nelson Cruz, Miguel Tejada, Jose Reyes, Hanley Ramirez. Yeah, it looks like they might be
That reads
just
a little more
tad
impressive.
more talented than the Netherlands. But I could be wrong.
It is
It
just a game of baseball.
Yeah, this is wow. I think the Dominican Republic is probably the favorite here. Which then is that who you're advancing off on, Eric? By the way, is that
Yeah,
who you think? Okay,
I will
can we
just
all
go
agree
with
on that? Ashley, you agree?
Yeah.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
All right, that means we have Puerto Rico versus the Dominican Republic, and that will take place tomorrow at 8 p.m. And I imagine Puerto Rico would also have significantly more MLB players than the Netherlands. That's one of those teams. You get that a lot in like the Olympics or World Baseball Classic, stuff like this, where you see a team and you just think like, I didn't know anyone from that country played this sport. You know what I mean? Like who can tell me some like great Netherlands, baseball players? As we've proven, you cannot. But Puerto Rico, obviously. I mean, Giovanni Soto is there. J.C. Romero, stuff like that. There's there's some players here. Yadier Molina, Jose Molina. They got two of them flying Molina brothers. Mike Aviles, Carlos Rivera. There's some players here, but Carlos Beltran also here. Angel Pagan, Alex Rios. There's definitely another team that is more talented than the Netherlands, which apparently is not that much of an accomplishment. But look for a pretty good matchup tomorrow. Puerto Rico and most likely the Dominican Republic. And who would win that matchup, you think, Yvonne, Eric?
Puerto Rico definitely has the hot hand, especially after beating Japan.
True. 3-1, by the way.
But I think the Dominican Republic has what it takes. I'm picking Dominican.
I'm not going to lie. My attention to the World Baseball Classic drops significantly as soon as the United States is no longer in it.
Stop caring.
Not as much as it does in, say, the World Cup, where I'm watching. I'll actually try to maybe sometimes watch the USA play, and I sometimes get into it only from a patriotism standpoint, not from a hooray soccer standpoint. But that, my interest becomes entirely zero as soon as the United States is out of it. But No, World Baseball Classic. I pay attention, but obviously once the United States is in it, I sort of start looking more towards the real baseball season, which is just around the corner.
Can't wait.
And just around this break, we will be talking about what's urinating us off. Talking a little bit about our fantasy baseball league draft upcoming not too long from now. Still hammering out a date. And still not too late to sign up. We'll talk more about that later. 3 Up, 3 Down, all that, and so much more. You listen to High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farmville request at a time. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
Okay, we got some breaking news from downtown Cleveland. We're going to kick to our on-the-scene reporter, Justin.
This is Justin from the MSC Radio Network. We are live downtown where we've had some reports of some recent zombie attacks. We got a witness here that states she knows what's happening.
Oh my God, the zombie was eating that man's face. But I got an awesome Mindless Clothing t-shirt.
Mindless Clothing. www.mindlessclothing.com.
Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location? I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store. Now, how cool is that? You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans. And he's local. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377. That's 216-622-0377. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com.
How much faith can you see as you blindly
Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out. Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. User friendly and ready to serve. morningshowcentral.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
Hello, and welcome back to High on Sports. I am Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and whether you are listening to this show on your computer or on the go on your smartphone, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you are not listening from your smartphone, remember, just go to the
My bad.
Go to the App Store and search for the free-to-install app TuneIn Radio. It's free to download, free to install. Search MSC Radio Network, hit play, and you are listening to us on the go wherever you may be. Remember, as always, you can get a hold of us on the phone, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. Get a hold of us on our Facebook, facebook.com/high-on-sports. Or tweet at us at high_on_sports or with the hashtag high-on-sports. Get to the website. It is high-on-sports.net. You will find the archive of all our past shows, my blog, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, that is high-on-sports.net. All right, let's get right into it. We have got a jam-packed round two for you, so here it is. All right, it's time for a staple of High on Sports, and that is, of course, what's urinating us off. And we're going to start, as we always do, with Von Erich. Von Erich, what is urinating you off?
Well, I just came across this just, I'd say about 90 seconds ago, so I'm going to go with this.
Okay, sounds good.
I had one. I was going to go with the WBC and what you were saying about how everyone loses interest once America's eliminated, and I was going to give an idea. I'll just throw this out real quick. Just an idea to make the WBC a little more interesting. Instead of a pool of American players, why don't we use one MLB team?
Oh, that's
say like a Tigers or a Giants or, nice up-and-comer.
Probably because most of their teams are picked over by the Dominican Republic.
Well, there's that. You can
That's
have,
like the Giants can play, but they can't use any Dominican Republic players.
but there's enough Americans in the organization that they can just use one team.
America just needs to learn how to freaking win. This is our sport.
But this I just came across, and I can't stop laughing about it.
All right.
MLB has decided to honor, and during the Hall of Fame ceremony, Tommy John and his surgeon, Dr. Frank Jobe, pioneer of the Tommy John surgery. So the Tommy John surgery is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
What?
The scariest surgery
That pretty much
in the entire sport.
majority of the time ends your baseball
The
career.
most terrifying name you can hear, Tommy John.
The Hall of Fame announced that it will honor the pair on July 27th at the awards presentation during Hall of Fame weekend. The groundbreaking work of Dr. Frank Jobe to develop, refine, and make mainstream the Tommy John surgery, a complex elbow procedure that has furthered the careers of hundreds of ball players, is a testament to the positive role of medicine in our game's growth.
Now, when you say the pair, you mean Tommy John and Dr. Frank Jobe?
Yeah.
So Frank Jobe, good work on coming up with this insane surgery that sounds like borderline Frankenstein's monster. And Tommy John,
hey,
who
good for getting hurt.
Good job at laying down sedated.
Yeah.
You did it like a pro.
And having a name that goes really well with an injury.
It's like Lou Gehrig. Like, who can say Lou Gehrig now and not be like, oh, what a shame. Like, that poor disease. Or like that,
they're going to put Lou Gehrig's disease into the Hall of Fame? That's messed up.
Well, I'm looking at the picture of Tommy John and Dr. Jobe right now, and he does not look like a guy I would want operating on me.
I mean, isn't that
looks like he's got a shaky hand.
It's fun to think.
He looks like he's 95 now, so he's probably
everybody
retired.
wants to have their name remembered, for something. Everybody wants to be remembered when they're gone and stuff like that. But I think I would take no one remembering who I was or what I've done over my name attached to a life-threatening disease or career-threatening surgery.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I'd rather just be forgotten.
Yeah.
It's like being the Megan in Megan's Law.
Right?
Exactly. It's just, I'd rather just not.
Yeah, I'd rather
not
just
be
no
remembered.
one know.
When they were like, well, can we call this Tommy John surgery? I'd be like, can you pick anything else?
Yeah.
Like our knee surgery.
I'll tell you who picked the name. Is Dr. Jobe. He picked the name.
He didn't call it Frank Jobe surgery?
I'm just
saying,
he
didn't want that.
I'd be like, just wait till the next guy gets hurt and needs this surgery. Name it after the next guy.
Do you think they named it that while he was sedated? And he woke up, it's like, good news, we fixed you, and we named this procedure after you.
I'd be like, oh, God damn it.
Okay. Yay. Now, to be fair, he did.
Now everyone's going to say my name. And
he did go on to win.
Lives.
I don't remember how many games off the top of my head, but a lot of games after the surgery. Wasn't it 100 games or something? Over 100. He won over 100 games after receiving Tommy John surgery.
164.
So yeah, and it's not the total career destroying move it is now. Because think about Washington Nationals. Strasburg. Steven Strasburg. You just had it. Shin-Soo Choo's had it. It really is
Brian
a breakthrough.
Wilson.
Brian Wilson.
That's a bad example.
Yeah. And there's good examples too. But no, it is just kind of like you hear Tommy John, you're like, oh God.
You think of
especially when it's like a young kid or something, where it's like a Strasburg, you hear like
or a young guy from the Tribe organization,
exactly.
Frank Herman.
Yeah, and there's Carlos Carrasco is coming back from it, isn't he?
Yes.
And now Frank Herman has to have it. It's just you just hear that name Tommy John, and it just sucks the life out of you. It's like, oh, we got this kid. We'll see what happens to him. This Strasburg kid. And
Tommy John.
Oh,
shit!
I wish you would have said any two other words.
They're getting a lot better out of it.
They are.
He got shot in the chest by a bullet. Okay, he can come back from that.
Exactly.
Tommy John, we're fucked.
There's a part of it where it's just, he got like clipped on the side of the head, and like he's being operated on right now.
Bleeding
At least
from the
it's
brain.
not Tommy John.
Yeah.
Let's just be thankful it's not
Tommy John.
Tommy John.
Pretty much what it is.
All right, thank you, Von Erich. And now, Ashley, I guess you're taking us back to March Madness.
Yeah, we're taking us back to this tournament.
You're urinating off.
these freaking tournament people, I think their heads are up their butts right now. Because,
probably.
Okay, so there were 64 teams, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden they're like, we need more people. Let's have one of the 16 seeds be a playing game.
That's fine. That's like 16th, the very last
one more
team. Sure.
Kind of into the tournament, but not really because you're just playing another crap team, so I don't really consider it.
And they always had, in my opinion, it's just a total side note, but they always had, when it was just that 2-team playing, it was always the coolest, like, logos or team names because they had these badass names because they weren't like, there wasn't history behind them, like, oh, the Duke Blue Devils or something, like there's history.
Random
This
stuff.
was like, I remember one year it was like, I don't know what teams they were, but it was the Richmond Spiders, and then somebody was a snake. And it was just like showing the two logos on screen, and there's this Black Widow spider and this like venomous cobra. And I was like, this could be good. This could be really good. And there's always like cool things. Like I still think there's one that was like an alien, but I
don't remember.
Guess who that could have been. But now it's just
and now they've added 3 more playing games. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. They've added another 16-seed playing game. But then the other 2 playing games are an 11 seed and a 13 seed. So you're telling me that you have to, you win your conference tournament, whatever, you get a bunch of wins. Oh, you're going to be an 11 seed. But wait, you have to play someone to get that 11 seed. But wait, there's 2 16 seeds, 4 15 seeds, 4 14 seeds, and 3 13 seeds, and 4 12 seeds that are ahead of you, that are already in the tournament, and you're an 11 seed and you have to play in. And then the same with the 13 seed. There's 2 16s and 4 15s and blah, blah, blah ahead of you, but yet you're going to be a 13 seed? You want to have 4 playing games. The 4 playing games are 16 seeds. How do you put a 16 seed ahead of an 11 seed? That makes absolutely no sense.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so am I. How is 16 better than 11? It's
just ridiculous.
I don't understand.
They tell this team, you need to win this game. If you win, you're an 11. If you lose, you go home. Yet there's these other guys ranked under you that are already comfortably safe, waiting for the tournament to start.
It makes and then the fact that they're calling it the first round.
No, it's not. No,
it's not the first round.
That's the play-in
It's a play-in game. They just extended them. The NCAA's they're completely asinine right now. I don't know. They started this last year with all the play-in games?
Yeah, it's
11. How do you put 2 16 seeds ahead of a 13 and 11?
I don't even know. It's absolutely ridiculous. But thank you, Ashley. Now I'm going to do mine real quick, and then we've got actually some more MLB stuff here for you. Mine is Elvis. It's not Elvis Dumervil isn't urinating me off. It's actually kind of his agent and stuff. I'm sure you've all heard by now. On Friday, Elvis Dumervil agreed to take a pay cut from $12 million to $8 million to stay with the Broncos. The agent had to file the paperwork basically saying, yeah, we're cool, by 4 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. He missed the deadline. Now, reportedly, there's conflicting reports and stuff. I've read that he did fax it to them, but it was after the deadline of when you're allowed to. So he got cut. I'm not 100% sure who's entirely to blame. If it's the Broncos were like, well, then get out, or if this was because of the deal, like, all right, just send us approval at this time, or else it automatically triggers you being cut, because the Broncos don't want to lose him.
Yeah.
They would like to keep him. But they have to wait a few days because he's waiting on his new agent, because this one got fired on Friday. This Marty McGid, who, again, all he had to do was fax a piece of paper by 4, collect his check, and everything's fine. He missed the deadline. What could you be doing? You're an NFL agent during free agency.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now that's so much more important? It's like, yeah, I know he had that, but it was my kid's dance recital, so I couldn't really. No!
You have assistants! Make one of them fax it.
Now, more importantly than all of this, it is 2013, people.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Why are we faxing? Why?
Well, I fax a lot of stuff at work.
Yeah, for work. But your company, we're not going to name names, shouldn't even be faxing. It's 2013.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. I deal with a lot of paperwork.
You can get around it.
It can be done in email.
Exactly.
Well, I'd have to know because when I got a paper, I can't just shove the paper into the computer.
You can scan it.
We should
scan the
not
document.
be using
I
paper
don't have a
anymore.
scanner.
We're in the paperless age. Newspapers come to your tablets, magazines, all that
Invoices
stuff.
don't.
Well, they need to start.
And that's why the plain dealer's going under.
Goodbye, them.
Yeah, we don't need them.
No.
Unless, of course, they'd like to buy some airtime.
Then come on board.
Right?
Sure.
I like the newspaper.
So that's it for what's your name. I
I'm
like
old
the
school.
idea of it, but then when you sit there and start reading it, you're like, I could find these a lot faster, and these from every city in the
the
country
paper
on my
comes to
phone.
my house. I pick it up, sit down on my couch, read the sports section, and then put it away.
I guess people still need something to do when they poop.
I fall asleep when I read it.
No, I read the newspaper.
It's just not worth it anymore.
I get it when I get my oil changed.
I laugh hysterically at the headlines when I'm walking by somewhere with it. Because it'll be like a local paper and there's just nothing to report. And it's like, local turkey found in yard. I saw something, I'm not even joking, a couple weeks ago where it was along those lines. It wasn't that exactly, but it was that this woman found a turkey in her backyard. And it was just in her backyard and it wouldn't go. Who cares? Let alone it's on the front page. The front.
Maybe it was a rabid turkey.
There's no war
Or a
going on
zombie
or something
turkey.
we can
Maybe
talk about?
it was a zombie turkey.
Oh, Jesus
Back
Christ.
from the dead.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Back to baseball because it's
That'd
so
make it
close.
interesting.
So close. Next week is actually our last show before the regular season starts. Excuse me.
And we'll be here with you on opening day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll be here on April 1st. And that's not an April Fool's. We will be here. Although it'd be a good one. But we won't not do that. Anyways,
Let's go try.
Let's talk about this though real quick. Remember the High on Sports Fantasy Baseball League. We still haven't settled on an exact specific time, but it will be 1 week from Wednesday.
Yes.
That is when we're doing it. 1 week from Wednesday, which is going to make our draft on the. It's going to be sometime Wednesday evening, which will be Wednesday, the 27th of March. Is the date of our draft. Still hammering out a time. You can check our Facebook or tune in with the show next week to hear the specific time when we've come to it. Remember, people's spots are filling up quick. It's not too late to enter. You need to act fast, though. Send an email directly to us at highonsports@gmail.com. Let us know on the Facebook. Let us know via Twitter. Just let us know somehow. Talk to us in person if you know any of us. Let us know, and we will get you an invite sent to the league. Because it's by invitation only. You have to get one through your email. You have to approve and do all that stuff before you can be in the draft. Spots are filling up, people. Again, email to highonsports@gmail.com. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know on Twitter. Come to us in person. However you can get a hold of us, let us know you want in to compete against the best of the best and the fans. So, again, that is the High on Sports Fantasy Baseball League. Now, while we're still talking baseball, Von Erich has just dropped another bombshell on me from the world of baseball. You want to talk about this one? This is Major League Baseball and MLB Players Association reportedly in talks to create a worldwide draft.
What?
Yeah, they're trying to stop the fact of letting these international stars go to the highest bidder, pretty much, and they want them to submit to the same amateur status as everyone else and join the draft. And but I think it sounds good in a sense, but I think it's going to stop like the superstars from coming. These people who are they're basically kings in their own country, and they come here for the amount of money that they're willing to accept. But I think if they have to go through the draft process, they're not going to go through that to accept the league minimum and all that stuff to go play for the Brewers.
Exactly. It makes it a little crazier because these guys are major league ready, So you're drafting guys that are ready to come up and play day one. The Yu Darvishes and Yoenis Cespedes and stuff of the world, and the what's his name with Cincinnati, the Cuban missile
Chapman.
Yeah, Aroldis Chapman. Guys like that. It doesn't sound fair that you say, well, they go by different rules, but honestly, they go by different rules. I mean, they're not these kids coming out through college and everything that still need work on their games and everything. They're sometimes they're far from perfect. In the case of Daisuke Matsuzaka, who, by the way, the Indians have announced today will not make the opening day roster, although they have him on a minor league deal and they're in talks with him right now. Basically, I caught some of the Tribe game today. I'm taking on the Brewers in Arizona. I caught some of it, and they spoke with Chris Antoinetti, who actually talked about they're in talks with Dice K right now, and Matt Capps as well, actually. They'd like both of them to stay in a minor league capacity. So we're basically just waiting to hear what Dice K and Matt Capps.
We've already heard back. Dice K accepts Indians minor league assignment.
Oh, there you go. Welcome to the Clippers. All right.
Well, I mean, pretty much. Where else was he going to go? Nowhere.
Yeah, honestly, there was nowhere where he was going to go and be on a major league roster. You know. So, by the way, Cleveland Indians just wrapped up another Cactus League victory in Goodyear Ballpark. They did end up topping the Brewers 4-2. They are now 14-8-2 in spring training, and we are just 2 weeks away from the regular season. So,
go
little
try,
spring training
baby.
update for you there. But it's like what we're saying though. No, they do play by different rules because these are for the most part finished products, or at least as close to it as you're going to get without playing in Major League Baseball. It would be a draft that would be more like the NFL draft, you know. But then again, like Von Erich said, why would you go to some terrible team that's drafted you when you can just say, nah, I'll just keep taking money from the Tokyo Ninjas or whatever I play for and just see where that takes me. It is a confusing thing. I don't know if the process can really be done.
They're trying to get a deal hammered out by June 1st. The draft takes place on the 1st or the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. But if no deal by then, expanded international spending restrictions kick in. So I don't know what those restrictions are, but something to look into.
I guess that means then it's a field day for anyone to go sign these guys at that point. So either way, we're nearing the end of the show here. Oh, but I'm going to do 3 up, 3 down, and I'm throwing this in as an additional down because this just broke about 10 minutes ago. 76ers center Andrew Bynum will undergo season-ending surgery on both knees.
Who would have thought Bynum's hurt again?
Good thing you don't use both of your knees in the NBA. Thank God. Man, who would have thought all they gave up was, Mo Harkless? Who would have thought? They gave up Andre Iguodala as well.
Yeah, Denver.
Yeah, and now looking back, that was all just to be a facilitator and wound up with Andrew Bynum.
And he's done nothing.
Not really worth it. This trade is not panning out. I mean, Iggy's not doing terrible in Denver. Denver is going to be a playoff team. Are they really the winner of that trade? Featuring Denver, Philadelphia, LA, and Orlando? Who would have thought getting Andre Iguodala in Denver? They're the winner right now. At this point in time, Denver has won that trade. All right, 3 up, 3 down time. Down number 3, speaking of that trade, Kobe Bryant hurt his ankle this week and will be out for his 2nd straight game today. Number 2 is Elvis Dumervil. We talked about it already. Due to his agent faxing paperwork late, he has been released by the Broncos. Down number 1, as soon as this story broke, I said, you know what I love? I love when the sports world does my job for me. And in this case, they did. Dante Stallworth is down. He's okay. Let me stress that. He's treated for burns, but he's okay. His hot air balloon crashed into some power lines. Couldn't make this stuff up, people. Dante Stallworth injured
with severe
burns when his hot air balloon flew into some power lines.
I've always wanted to take a hot air balloon ride.
And now I don't.
Not anymore.
Down number 3, or up number 3, I should say, the Denver Broncos. Even though they were in the down section for the Elvis Dumervil thing, they did, however, sign Wes Welker this week, taking him away from Tom Brady. And really, Wes Welker and Peyton Manning, plus they got Demaryius Thomas and then Eric Decker.
Yeah, they're going all the way.
Oh, they're scary right now. If they can find a valid pass rush by bringing back Elvis Dumervil, possibly Dwight Freeney, who knows? Up number 2, the Miami Heat. Didn't want to do it, but they're there. Winning streak continues as they're tied for the 2nd longest ever at 22, going for 23 tonight in just a matter of moments against Boston, who will be without Kevin Garnett. Up number 1, 4-way tie, Louisville, Kansas, Gonzaga, Indiana, named the number 1 seeds in the March Madness NCAA tournament. All right, that's all the time we have here tonight. Join us next week as we will be joined by 19 Action News sports producer Scott Pennyman to talk more bracket, Cleveland sports, and so much more. You're not going to want to miss that show. All right, so that's going to wrap it up this week. So for Chris, Von Erich, Ashley, I am Von Erich saying good night, everybody. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for listening to High on Sports on MorningshowCentral.com.